Hey, and welcome back. So it's a nice day today. I'm sitting out here in sunny weather, and I figured why not do another review. So today, doing a little bit of Orlik Golden Sliced, one of my favorites as of late. On and off been smoking this and have this in my rotation as well. So let's light some up. Let's go over it a little bit, and we'll see what we come up with. So to read the tin description, got to put my glasses on here. It's starting to really feel old. So this blend is composed of golden Virginia tobaccos with a touch of Perique. A fine natural sweetness in both taste and aroma characterize Orlik Golden Sliced. The cut is a traditional navy cut, flake, i.e. pressed tobacco, and cut into thin slices. And they further go on to say, rub the tobacco slices gently before filling your pipe. So, let me show you what they look like. They come in, indeed, surprise, surprise, these thin little slices. Now, I'll try and see if I can get this to sort of focus on this a little bit. You can see that there is a mixture of a number of different types of tobaccos, the colorings and the striations on it. You can tell that there's a few different things in there. I don't see what I would normally consider to be an awful lot of Perique in one of these bad boys, but you know, it is what it is. I'm reading my notes over here if you're wondering why I'm looking off to the side. So the cut on it is, I guess, a navy flake. It does come, it's maybe a millimeter or so wide, and it's all pressed together nice and neatly, and they come with, I don't know how many of these slices are in there, but so the tin note on this one is actually a really pleasant tin note, really nice scent to it. What I'm always struck with this one is it really has that grassy hay scent from the Virginias, and that's really the overriding scent that you catch when you do a tin note on this. It smells really nice, and you know, I don't know if you've ever been in a hay barn. It's about what it smells like. It really has that scent to it. It's very surprising to me the first time I opened this up. And then in the background, there is this sweetness to it that almost smells a bit like honey, but it's very mild and not particularly strong. So overall, that sweet grassy scent, and it's something I appreciate. I like it. So rubbing it out is how I usually do it. I do indeed take their advice and I rub it out. And because it's a little bit thicker, unlike a ribbon cut where you get fairly thin ribbon in it, this gives you, it's a little bit thicker a cut, not quite a coarse, but it's the little pieces as they break up are a little bit thicker. And so for me, I sometimes tend to smoke a little bit quicker. It's a little bit cooler, a little bit larger pieces of tobacco. It doesn't burn quite so fast. Packs well. I find that I probably need to pack this a little bit firmer because it is a little bit thicker. And it arrives for me, the last few tins that I've had has arrived, and they're not too wet, they're not too dry. They're in good shape. They're eminently smokable right out of the tin. I don't have any problems with them at all. So let's light up a bowl and see what we think. Smoking the Peterson Rossler Classic again today. Let me see what we got here. I've already packed this and already had lit it once so that we didn't have to go through the char lighting and all that other stuff. So right off, the room note is pretty mild and pleasant. It's not a particularly strong tobacco. It does have a few other flavors mixed in there that are going together, and perhaps that's the Perique that they're talking about in it. Usually Perique seems to be the pictures that I've seen of it in the past are pretty dark and almost a blackish colored Cavendish kind of sort of thing, a really dark color to it. And I don't see much of that in the flake. But it does have, you know, a bit of that spiciness in it. Not overwhelming, but a touch of it there. Both room note and with what I taste. It's not something that really gives you real strong that spiciness or whatnot. It's there, but it's pretty mild and gentle. And overall, as is most of the tobaccos that I seem to be reviewing, it's something that's approachable, isn't too heavy, isn't too strong, but this does have a little bit going on. And so, if you didn't want something quite as mild as some of the other ones that I've reviewed, you probably would find this as something that gives you a little bit more flavor, a little more complexity. And might be something that, as far as that goes, you might be interested a little bit more. So looking at the flavor, kind of given that overall thing, looking at my notes again, the flavor is a little more complex, a little more involved in what we had done recently. Had done the early morning pipe. I'd say a little bit more going on with that, but not a tremendous amount. It's still down on the mild end of the scale. Strength-wise, similarly as you would expect. I don't really have any trouble with tongue bite. Nicotine on this one, I definitely don't have any issue with that, so it seems to be really quite mild, to me at least, with the nicotine. And for me, I think probably what helps a little bit, where it is a little bit thicker because of having been that flake that you just sort of rub out. I find that it smokes a little cooler. The tobacco's a little thicker, a little more substantial, and again, packing it a little bit tighter. Otherwise, I tend to find that it's maybe packed loose enough that maybe almost makes it burn hotter at that point, because now I haven't really tightened it down too much. But tongue bite isn't a problem with this. I don't really perceive, the sort of the honey taste, or you can smell it in the jar a little bit. It does seem like that's maybe a topping or a casing, just a touch of it in there. But it doesn't translate so much into room note or the actual flavor when you're smoking it. Mostly it seems like the Virginia is in a mild blend of tobaccos. It is sweet and an enjoyable experience. It's become one of the ones that I routinely put into my rotation. So I guess overall, where would I rate this? On my mythic scale of 1 being early morning pipe and 10 being the mythic nightcap, this is down towards the lower end, but I would say it's probably a 3 or a 4 or so. It's got more going on than early morning pipe. It has a little more complexity in it, though nothing overwhelming. But a little bit of spice. Yet I haven't found that to translate into problems with tongue bite or with the nicotine giving me trouble. So an enjoyable smoke that could be for pretty much any time of the day. Some of the other pipe tobacco, obviously early morning pipe, is supposed to be kind of an early part of the day, something you do when you're just sort of starting out. And this could be a decent smoke for somebody who is new to the process of smoking, new to the habit. And I don't think it would overwhelm them. I think it would be something that they could enjoy. You could smoke this in mixed company, and I suspect it wouldn't be so strong that people would object to the smell. The room note is pleasant, but definitely smells like tobacco. It doesn't have like some other scented in it. So overall, I would say a 3 or a 4 on my scale as far as, in general, the strength and flavor. And it's something that I do recommend. I do enjoy it. It's something that you can use in your rotation if you want something a little spicier, if you're in a situation where you want a little bit more than just some of the milder things. It's a pretty popular tobacco. I know there's a lot of reviews for it, so I'm sure you can probably get a whole bunch of the same type of view from a bunch of different people, but it's something I would recommend. So I'll do the can thing again, the Orlik Golden Slice. This one is I should have probably said that earlier. I don't know how many gram this tin is. I think it's a 50-gram tin. And good deal. So I would recommend it. That's about it for today. If you have any comments, put them in the space below and I'll get back to you. And thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.